What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Cream City Curveball. I'm your man, Justin from North Carolina.
And Pipe here in the good land.
Yeah, man, we're up here on this road trip out of town, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because Big Idiot here forgets to renew his passport, went through, got all the business taken care of, left all my pink shirts back in Raleigh, but we're back in full effect. And we had to go live today. We had to record a video today because somebody been on Joey O. Joe Zero goes to Joe Hero last night. Game-winning home run. Bryce DeRay hopefully snapping out of his suckery streak, getting back to doing big Bryce energy, BDE as Pipe called it. And it's just before we talked a little bit before I got on the plane, Pipe, and I was like, damn, man, we're probably going to blow this one. So frustrated. And then I land. I don't text anybody else. I text Pipe. Joey.
Yep. Well, good on him. Another example. Every now and then you close your eyes, wish for a miracle, and sometimes it hits. He was having a very Joe Ortizian game yesterday up until the home run. Sailed to throw to first. Stole the ball from Hamilton. Said, I got this, when Hamilton was in a better position, and then made just a donkey-ass throw. And airmailed it, looked ridiculous. And then failed to come through a bunch of times with RISP. So, the home run, yeah, it's great. The chance, drive me crazy. It's ridiculous. But whatever makes you happy. It is what it is. But yeah, good for him. Good on the Brewers, man. Finally, it seems like finally they lost 2 in a row, and so after dropping 2 straight. Which is a lot for this team. They don't lose back-to-back games often. Nice for them to get back into the win column, no matter who made it happen.
Yeah, and I know the Cubs fans thought they really got away with one. They thought that they were going to be a game up, gain another game, 4.5 back. We're inside of a 5-day work week to get back into that first place. And Joey O and those Brewers slammed the door. Got to give a lot of credit to that bullpen, though. Trevor McGill, since blowing those back-to-back saves in April, has turned into the monster that we know. I'm going to go ahead and add another tick for an all-star guy since I'm here in Philadelphia, right? But, I mean, it's Uribe, it's McGill, Ashby. Guys are good. Ashby, what is this, his 32nd win of the year? Like, Jesus Christ, he's going to set the world record for wins in baseball, this guy. Anytime he gets the ball in the mouth, just go ahead and mark that W down, and we're not talking about University of Wisconsin or what the Milwaukee Bucks will do all this winter, right?
That's right. Good on Ashby, man. Now 11-1, which made the couple appearances that we saw recently from him that were, definitely out of the norm. Makes you kind of forget those back in the win column. 11-1. You can't argue with that. Obviously, it's more fluky than it is anything. When you get in the game, when the offense, comes to life or whatever. But good on him for that. But, yeah, like you said with McGill, he blew those back-to-back saves, looked absolutely terrible early, and, basically got demoted for a while. And Uribe, became the closer and all that. And, I knew it was a matter of time before McGill came back. He was too good for too long for us to really believe that he just completely lost it, like he looked those back-to-back outings. I'm definitely very happy for him. He is one hell of a weapon, man. The Brewers, they've had closer on lock for a long, long time. But going back to the Joe Zero stuff, man, listening to Tim and Tommy after the game last night. A lot of ridiculous callers just saying some asinine things. Some idiot, absolute idiot, went on there and said losing Joe Zero, if the Brewers traded him, Listen, did you hear this last night?
That's all
Said
I'm
it,
dying. I heard it, bro. I heard it, bro.
said it would be the equivalent of the Josh Hader trade.
My gosh.
Excuse me, sir, I'd like you to pee in the cup because there is no way that that man was sober, and there is no way that anybody with half a brain, even a tenth of a brain, could think like that because that's just absolutely ridiculous on 8, 9, 1 bajillion levels. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, so we can minus one subscriber if Buddy's subscribed, but he definitely won't be subscribing to us.
Whatever. He won't be missed. What an idiot.
I can't even compose myself right now.
What did you think when you heard that?
I was just like, this dude just compared. Look, man. And I wish I could have. We should have waited till I got to the crib so I could have held up my Joey Ortiz sign back, stuff like that, to really troll you. But we had to get this in just in case, you never know what happens flying back. I mean, it's definitely out of left field, man. You hear a lot of crazy sports talk when you're in the state of Wisconsin, right? You hear Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love. You hear Thanasis was a vibrant member of the Milwaukee Bucks. You hear that your boy Fickle up there in Wisconsin is the top 5 coach of all time. Da-da-da-da-da. That's probably up there, top 5 worst sports takes of all time. We're talking about Josh Hader, who was arguably the best reliever in the game. And if he wasn't the best reliever in the game when they traded him, he definitely was the best left-handed reliever in the game. Comparing it to a guy that's batting under 2 bills right now, he might have got up there last night. I mean, it's just like I hung the phone up on the post-game show and I didn't even call. That's how crazy it was. Like, yeah, I'm with you, bro. It was way out of crazy. Some dude, look, you can be a Joey Ortiz fan without being a crazy dude, right? Like, I'm a big Garrett Mitchell fan. I'm a big Grant Anderson fan. But I keep it 100, and when they don't perform up to their level, I say it. Joey has not performed up to the level that I expect, that you expect, that Pat Murphy expects, regardless of what he says in the media. And you can't, like, look, I'm being super facetious and I'm trolling you right now because that's what we're supposed to do. But everything isn't solved off of one swing of the bat. But let's be real. This dude has a lot of improvement to go, and I hope he makes it. If his bat can be a fourth of what his glove is, we're in tune for some great stuff. But a lot to be desired, man. Wanted to really spend a little bit of time before we get up out of here, Pipe, and not rushing it or anything. But let's talk about Bryce Terang, man. What did you see? Because Joey Ortiz home run, well, still means something. But Bryce got us back to level ball. And what did you think about that one?
Yeah, that was huge. That was good to see. He's someone who actually will pay dividends for this team down the stretch, who will make one hell of a difference. He needs to get right. The homer was still his only hit yesterday and all that. But hopefully, that helps bring back the confidence. At least me personally, I don't expect Bryce to hit a whole lot of home runs. So hopefully, him going yard last night sits there and gets the weight off his shoulders. Any kind of mental, anguish that he was going through, not being able to deliver as often as he would like, as often as the team would like, and hopefully he gets back to that big Bryce energy and walking around the clubhouse with his head held high and his chest all puffed out. And let's get back to being Bryce Terang, because that was awesome, and huge swing to tie that bad boy up last night.
He might have the sweetest swing on the team, man. No exaggeration here with that one, man. It's just so effortless now. Whoever worked with Bryce in these last couple of offseason has this guy swinging the bat at an insane clip, getting back down to the 250s and stuff like that. So you mentioned that might have got him back off the schneid. Then you talk about his 2 blue hits the day before against Chicago. So I think we might be onto something with Bryce. Trying to think if we got. Oh, I'm forgetting the other left-handed guy that made this all possible. Jake Bowers with a key left oppo field base hit, getting Christian Yelich to third base, and then Yelich eventually came through on the wild pitch, man. A lot of just BS stuff, man, with the Sal Frelick check swing. That was just ridiculous. Third base, I agree with what was it, Rock and BA, whoever was on the game last night, because I did see that before I took off. And they were like, the third base, I didn't even see it. I don't think he saw it either. He guessed wrong. But the most important thing is Pat Murphy pushed those buttons, and we got another W, and there's a comeback win, and I'm pumped up, Pipe. How are you feeling?
Hell yeah, man. Same way. Like I said, very rare that this team loses 2 in a row. It's nice that it wasn't 3, that they were able to stop the bleeding. It's nice that we're sitting here and feasting and beating up on them lowly Reds, which is just a terrible team, terrible franchise with a great manager. So, are we catching them at the right time? I don't care. This is now, 4 wins in a row against those idiots. Hopefully 4 on the way to 7. So you got to sit there, win tonight, and then all of a sudden, the worst you can do is a split in the 4-game set. But you sit there, you got to win. You got to win tonight. And Sproat's been great lately. I wasn't on 100% on Team Sproat basically this whole season, but man, he's making me change my mind. He's been throwing really good. So hopefully this will continue. I just don't want to see us serve up any more homers or any more highlights to De La Cruz. But I will say last night, man, I do give a tip of the cap. I wish all the best for his recovery, that Myers kid that ran into that wall, man. Because, oh, boy, did he kiss that hard. And, oh, man, that looked painful, man. I sat there, rewound that sucker about 10 times on my TV last night, like, oh damn. Oh man, that was it was fun. It was, but it was, you hope he's okay. You don't want to see these guys get hurt, even if it's divisional guys, unless they're wearing blue or cardinal red, and then we don't care as much. But, when it's a team that's so as insignificant as Cincinnati, you don't want those dudes to get hurt. But, hell of an effort by him. Way to go all out. If he was on our team, we'd be sitting there, yeah, that's how we do it. 100%, all gas, no effing brake. So, I give him a lot of credit, and I hope he recovers quickly.
Yeah, hell of a catch by the kid, man. And amazing thing for me, man, is even after taking that crazy abuse from the wall, he still held on to the baseball, man. So I'm with you on the Sproat stuff. I want to see him jam it down their throat. No pause. And let's just get to it tonight, man. One other thing before we get up out of here, though. I do want to give Gasser a big shout-out, man, because I thought he pitched a very good ball game, with the exception of the De La Cruz pitch that you mentioned. And that's okay, because De La Cruz is a perennial all-star. He's a good player. And you got to put the ball in A1 against this dude. There's a couple dudes in this lineup that can really hurt you. I'd say Suarez. I'd say De La Cruz. And no matter what their numbers say, their statistics say, any of that stuff, they're the type of guys, bat to ball, usually hits barrel. Be careful. Sproat, you got to come out and do the same thing tonight. Let's go up 2-0. Let's start sending a message. And hopefully, real quick before you go, Pike, let's look at the other rest of the division foes real quick. Cardinals were idle. Pittsburgh Pirates came in here to Philadelphia, where I am right now, 11-7 victory. And somehow Suzuki walked off that dude for San Diego. So bunch of good luck for those other divisional foes. But let's create a little bit more distance. By the time we get to August 1, I want a win percentage higher than my GPA times 3, which is only 1.0, by the way.
Yeah, all well said, man. All well said. Like you mentioned with Gasser last night, 5 and 2 turds. He did allow 7 hits and 3 runs. So, but he only walked one dude, so he had to control and all that. But the homer really hurt him. And again, lots of traffic. But, it was okay. It was okay. The win is all that matters. But, yeah, hopefully by August 1st, Brewers got about a 12-13 game lead in the division. And we can start on August 1st talking about setting up this playoff rotation and start talking about playoff rosters instead of worried about the last month and a half, 2 months of the season.
Do got a quick question for you before we get out of here, man, and I do got a ranking thing for you, and I'll get to that in a second. Logan Henderson, absolutely stellar rehab start down there in AAA in Nashville the other day. Are you excited about him coming back? And who are you removing from this rotation? Before you go, I removed my guy Sproat. I know he's pitching well. We need some help in that bullpen. I think he kind of solidifies that bullpen. Him, Patrick, and then you get DL Hall back at some point. I saw he's throwing. Coleman Crow's on the mend as well. Zastrinski's on his way back, but you got to go Sproat to the bullpen, in my opinion, and I think we take off from there. What say you?
I'm throwing Gasser into the pen. I think he would be a better long man than Sproat, and I think that Sproat lately has deserved the nod over Gasser. So as soon as Logie comes back, for me, it's the gas man moving to the pen. Middle relief. Multiple innings, you get out to a huge lead or whatever, or, you want to sit there and, and I think another thing that might come into play when you're trying to choose between those two is who do you think can sit there and go to the pen for a week or two and then bounce right back and get back into that starting rotation if needed. The in case of glass. The, this is a good time to sit there and go to a 6-man. Anything that you need like that. If for whatever reason they think Sproat can sit there and go from the pen into, stretching out or whatever, getting his arm right to be a starter again faster, then I would go with Sproat. But personally, I would take Gasser.
Yeah, and one thing that we disagree on who goes to the pen, but one thing we both agree on, and I think I'm speaking for you, but I'm not out of turn here, is Logan Henderson needs to be in that starting rotation.
Yep, 100%.
Let's talk a little bit about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For those of you who do not know, Philadelphia is the home of the flagship Mitchell and Ness store. By going there today, they got Cubs stuff. They got so much Philadelphia Phillies stuff. Makes sense. Eagles crap. Sixers crap. They have 2 Milwaukee Bucks jerseys. Ray Allen green throwback joint. No, that's it, actually. They had 2 Packers jersey, a Woodson authentic Super Bowl joint, and then they had a Clay Matthews swingman joint. No Brewers caps, no Packers caps. I did manage to pick up a Milwaukee Braves throwback joint, which was pretty cool, little old retro joint. But that leads me to say, because they're the leader of the throwbacks, the leader of the flagship. They've been that way since we were kids. So let's do a little bit of this round table. Some of your favorite throwback logos of all time.
Well, for me, man, I love that creamsicle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The logo with the dude with the knife in his mouth. Absolutely love that. It's cool with the pirate ship and all that crap that they got in the stadium now, but imagine that with the old school logo. I think that would just be awesome. Those colors were kind of trash, the creamsicle colors. But if they would have just fixed the colors and kept the logo the same, I would have been all right with that.
Yeah, and I don't even think we got to mention the Brewers because everyone knows the Brewers is I think that's the best ball and glove is the best throwback logo of all time.
Yes, sir.
I'm a homer. But one of my favorite ones is Bango sitting on the logo and spinning the basketball on his finger. The old tricolor Bucks jersey was a supreme win, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, I actually remember that, which is weird for an NBA thing. But whatever. I could care less on that. Another one I kind of liked was I did like the Astros old ones. Maybe because
which old Astros? There's 4.
Well, like the old Nolan Ryan one with all the colors up on it and all that stuff.
Maybe blue orange one.
Yeah, that just makes me think of my youth. You know what I mean?
I could go the green Bucks jersey again, the purple and green one, but we'll stick away. Let's go outside of Milwaukee for a second. A really cool one to me. Let's do a baseball one. I kind of like the burgundy Phillies with the
Okay.
light blue. I kind of like that. I'm a fan of all the light blue ones, the Orioles, etc. Expos is probably my favorite non-Brewers logo, in my opinion, though. Makes sense, right? It's an M.
Yeah, yeah. Expos was cool, and I do like them old Philly ones. Make me think of Steve Carlton and all those guys from back in the day. Growing up watching that. So yeah, those are cool jerseys. But I will tell you like the throwbacks that I absolutely hate is
Yeah.
basically all the Packer ones. Anytime they do those blue and yellow, and just it all looks trash, man. Looks terrible. I can't stand it. Just go with the whites and the greens with the freaking G and leave it alone. It's iconic. You shouldn't change a damn thing ever.
Yeah, we're going to disagree on all fashion stuff. So I like the blue and golds. I
Of
like
course.
the 75th ones. I like them a lot, I think, because I could wear my Brewers hat with them and kind of hit cross two T's and dot two I's at the same time. So if you had to choose one, the navy with the gold or the white ones that they were on the road, just remember, back in 94, they wore both. If you had to choose one, which one are you going? The white one with the gold, with the letters, with the blue letters, or are you doing the all navy, all gold?
Man, you should just light them all on fire. If I had to choose between those and death wasn't an option, I'll take the white ones. But there is not one way I would spend it one dime of my money buying that crap. First of all, I don't buy white anything. So, I'm fat, which means I eat a lot, which means I crumb up my stuff a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I wear black, because it hides it. I can't wear white nothing, man. That thing would be stained in about 7 minutes, and I ain't dropping all that money on something I'm going to stain up like crazy.
So, a funny story. I came out here for Eagles and Packers playoffs. Went to the store, bought the white Reggie White joint with the yellow. Told the guy I should be good in the playoff game, right? Because it's Reggie White and he played for both. He was like, yeah, hell no. So go in the playoff game. Guy calls me some of those derogatory words that we're not supposed to say in the year of 26. And it was all because I wouldn't say go Birds. Now, I didn't have on any Packers stuff either. Packers fans were getting it kind of brutally, man. That's the game. And we'll talk about this on the new Packers podcast on the way, by the way. But that's the game when all the receivers got hurt. If I had to give you one more football one that I think is just a classic one that's not Packer related, I would go San Diego Chargers, the light blue joints, the old Kellen Winslow senior joints. I thought those were absolutely epic. If I gave you a hockey, I don't know. I'm biased, so I'm gonna give you a Blackhawks or a what is it? The Hartford Whalers joint. If I had to go out of that, I'm kind of an old school classic dude. That black and gray Kings joint from the 90s that Ice Cube and those guys used to wear back then. That would probably be one of my all-time favorites for hockey, man.
Well, yeah, because they look like Raiders gear. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And, obviously that's why Cube and all those guys were wearing that stuff, because, Raiders adjacent. And so, yeah, no, those look slick as hell. I understand why these teams mess up their jerseys constantly, because they got people like you that drop money every day buying all the merch and all that stuff. And Miss Justin, please hit mute on this here. It's just to steal, more of your money. Always have their hand in your pocket. I'm more of a classic. Just leave it alone. There's nothing wrong with the Packer jersey. Leave the ball and glove. Wear that all the time. I don't need this Wisco crap that looks ridiculous and their record is terrible wearing that stuff. That hideous color that they had last year. The only cool thing about that was a little grill patch. That was cool. But I don't know why we're changing up colors and doing all this kind of stupid junk just to sit there and steal more money from the fans. But just leave that stuff alone, man. But then again, if they went out there in jeans and an Iron Maiden shirt, I wouldn't complain about that. So, I guess I'm kind of hypocritical there.
You didn't like the Go Brew Crew jerseys?
Hell no.
So before we get out of here, man, because it's a couple things brought up on some of the different stuff that we do with Creep City Media Group. If you had to get one Brewers jersey right now, we ain't talking DH game. Let's just say Pipe was like, forget it, we gonna go to the store. Who would your one guy be that you would buy if you had to buy one?
Oh man, if I had to buy one right now, today, because it might change. It might change, if I had to buy one today, I would love to say Garrett Mitchell, and it would be a custom joint with with his number, and then I'd have it say Type 1 on the back. But if I was spending my own money on a damn thing, it would be Churio, just because I know he's going to be here a long time. And I have no problem wearing jerseys on dudes that left. My Packer collection of jerseys is all dudes that are gone. So I don't have any problem with that. But
give us a couple of those Packer ones real quick before we get out of here. I got one last thing for you. I just saw some come across the joint.
Well, I got Savage. I got that jersey. I got
because you are a Savage. Makes sense.
That's why I bought it. I got Jackson. Well, he was like the number one pick or first round or second round pick.
Brandon Jackson from Nebraska?
No, the other one, the dude that came out of like Iowa or something like that.
The dude that picked off Wisconsin 3 times and scored on him. Okay.
Yeah, I got his jersey. The weirdest one I got is Danny Vitale, who was really good, and Rodgers was propping him up in training camp, and I don't think he made the squad, or if he did, he made it for like one game, and that was it. But my wife worked with his mom, so that was like a $15 China special right there. It was like I could either go to the Chinese buffet and eat lunch, or I can get this jersey from a dude who my wife sort of knew his mom or whatever. So I chose the second route on that, and saved my stomach about 6 egg rolls.
Oh my God. I can't even get to any obscure joints I had. I think I had an Amber Darris, and that's right before, may she rest in peace, my buddy Carrie. She was like, you asshole, because he tore his ACL right after I got the jersey.
Yeah, your fault. It is.
The most obscure Brewers jersey in my collection. I don't really have any, man. I've Terrain. I mean, I guess you would say Grant Anderson, because I'm probably one of the only ones that has one of those. And then Bucks. I think the Bucks one, I have a Ray for Austin, but he was such a cult legend for his And One mixtape stuff. So I would probably say the most obscure one I have, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, Pipe, Kyle Kuzma. And I bought it the day he was traded for Chris Middleton.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Sober.
I bought it to kind of, that's what we were doing, Crib City crossover. It wasn't about who it was. It was about the fact of moving on from Middleton, if that makes sense to you.
Well, yeah, moving on from Middleton happened 5 years too late. That made perfect sense for me. But Kuzma, really? That was a freaking chant that lasted what? He got used twice. He had 2 highlights when he was here. So congrats on that.
Fight. He hasn't left yet.
He's still here.
Yes.
Well, hopefully he'll get traded.
You might get him out of here in about 2 hours and 15 minutes with the free agency trade deadline. Blah blah blah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, get him out. The only weird one I got from the Brewers, Jet Bandy, backup catcher back in the day. That's another China special. $15, $18, something like that. But yeah, that was my dude. And I think he played in probably 14, 15 games. But he had a couple homers, man, and those were glorious moments for me.
By the way, just in case you all are listening, we do take Chinese money for sponsorship as well. We don't discriminate.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so real quick, because we're on the theme of jerseys. It came across my phone while we're recording today. They just announced, Wisconsin AD announces that the Wisconsin Badgers will have a patch on the jersey for Culver's. How you feel about that?
Hell yeah, man. Hopefully the patch says Culver's and just has a picture of a bunch of cheese curds on it. That's cool with me. You got to make money any way you can. Hopefully they're helping fill the NIL coffers so we can at least be competitive. Be a nice change from the last handful of years.
Nah, for sure. And I mean, other than basketball and hockey, we've been kind of up there, volleyball, stuff like that. But I'm with you. He's, in case you folks don't know, he is talking about the pigskin, the football. Weekends are normally destroyed and saved by Jordan Love right now. So Fickle and these guys got to get it going, man. We'll talk a little bit about that on the football podcast we got coming up. We're not even going to tell you the name of it. Just know it's coming. Is that a pause? That's probably a pause.
Yeah, whatever.
So, we really appreciate you all listening to us, man, whether you're listening live, whether you're listening later on, whether you're listening in the shower with Pipe Bomb, whether you're going to bed with the Pipe Bomb. Oh, and just real quick before we get out of here, double middle finger salute to the dude that hacked my guy's Twitter. You're a cornball. You're whack. I hope you losing everything in life and everything you're trying to do in life, it fails.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, especially when we sat there yesterday and gave our Twitter handles and all that. Don't look on that one no more, because that ain't gonna be mine. I sat there, sent this. You had to fill out this form, all this kind of crap with Twitter. I ain't heard nothing back from them yet. I might just have to sit there and start a new page, because I don't expect a whole lot to come out of it. I don't expect to get my actual page back, but yeah, it sucks, man. Why people do shady stuff like that boggles my mind, but what can you do?
Yeah, man, same thing happened to our brother Aaron Sims. If you watched one of our previous episodes as well, man. So all I will tell you, man, if you're a fan of the Cream City Curveball, go report everything that Pipe Bomb tweets out right now. If you're a fan of Jeff Orlowski, if you're a fan of the Pipe Bomb, go report it. Let's start a mass reporting of this stuff and get these clowns kicked off of here, and hopefully they go get a job. Like UPS is hiring. There's someplace hiring where you can be more productive than stealing people's Twitters, you ass clowns. But anyways, we're going to get up out of here. I got to get a flight to get up out of here. We really appreciate you listening to Cream City Curveball. I'm your man, Justin, for North Carolina.
And Pipe in Milwaukee. Justin, get out of that crap-ass city, man. I hate that town.
For sure. I'll be a cheesesteak on the way out. No pescatarian until I get back to Raleigh, though.
There you go.
This has been a Cream City Media Group production. As always, go Brewers.